Welcome to Freeze Your Milk Podcast. I'm your host, Bridget, along with my husband, Chris. Podcast where we talk about the comedic side and serious side of parenting, life, and relationships. We are boy parents. We have two boys, Enzo and Rhett, with about a 6-year age gap between the two. You can check out our website, freezeyourmilk.com. Also, feel free to follow us on Instagram at Freeze Your Milk Podcast. Thanks and hope you enjoy. Welcome back.
What's happening? Just watched the football games.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Can we talk about the fact that, like, if you don't have actual cable, trying to figure out what streaming app to purchase to do the football games is so annoying.
Yeah.
Unless you want to pay for, like...
Yeah. We had, 5 different streaming apps just trying to catch each and, different game. And
all of them are cheaper than, one of the apps, which is one app that we did a free trial of today. So you could watch both the AFC and NFC conference games. It's like $90 a month.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm like...
DirecTV, you can just get the NFL package. It's $100 a month. And you get all the games.
Again, it's like $100 a month. That's expensive.
And this, by no means, is an advertisement for DirecTV.
No. Speaking of expensive, I feel like we had an expensive week.
Yeah, it's been a rough one. Once you start... Oh, well, yeah, Monday I had to get a vasectomy. So that's how I kicked off my week.
We talked about that, I think, in last week's podcast.
Yeah. You
had your vasectomy. And then Tuesday, we're normally a 1-car family. We've been 2.5 years now. We've been a 1-car family.
Yeah, we held out as long as we could.
Yeah. Tuesday, our car decided to, try to shudder to a stop on the highway. So that was really fun.
With you and the baby in it.
With me and the baby. Thank God you were there.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to be.
So then that is going to take at least 14 days to get diagnosed. And then after it gets diagnosed, they'll hypothetically do whatever they're going to do to it. But we can't be without a vehicle or paying out of pocket for rental for that long. It just doesn't logistically make sense. So we had to figure out where in our budget we wanted to build a car payment for another vehicle into our budget.
I'm actually really proud of us with regarding this vehicle, because instead, in the past, we would have just gone out and bought an expensive fucking truck and just said, what the hell. But this go around, we went practical, very practical, in my opinion. Something with good gas mileage, good ratings, reliability, something smaller, not crazy expensive.
Yeah, it'll be a struggle if we ever have to have all 5 of us in it at the same time. It's a 5-seater, but with 2 large car seats.
I don't want to be in the car with all 5 of you at the same time.
It would be a lot to, we could make it work if we had to, but it wouldn't be an ideal situation.
No.
But we did the best we could with it and did a ton of research.
Yep.
I spent 48 hours. I had I literally closed all my internet tabs today on my phone. I had 49 tabs open.
And they've made car buying the easiest process in the world. I literally showed up there, signed a couple pieces of paper. I was there for maybe 20 minutes, and then I was gone driving home.
That part was definitely fantastic.
Yeah,
how fast it is, and not having to do everything at the dealership, being able to do stuff at home.
Yeah.
My baby.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was just quick, easy, in and out.
Thank you, pandemic.
Yeah, right. Well, not really, but yeah, it's simple.
I think that's what made the process the way it is, though. It wouldn't have been that way pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Still, it was an expensive venture.
And then little man had his 1-month checkup at the pediatrician this week.
I had to go to the heart doctor.
Yeah. You want to talk about my hormonal crying at the pediatrician this week?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. She broke down. Because she was really concerned that Arlo is barely over his birth weight. Well, when he was born, he was about 9'3" when he was born, and then after a couple days later, he dropped down to about 9, which is common. Yeah. I mean, babies lose some weight, and he fought, for the last 30 days, he's been fighting his way back to get back to his birth weight. Well, he's gotten past his birth weight, and now he's at like 9'6" or 9'6", and we were sitting in the pediatrician's office, and Bridget took the baby to go away with the nurse, and she comes back and she starts crying, just a full meltdown, and I'm like, good God, what happened, And she's like, she just babbling, just, the foaming from the mouth, and I'm like, what is going on? And she's like, well, he's barely over birth weight, and
he's going to drop significantly in percentile.
Yeah, and now we're talking failure to thrive, and I said, can we just step back for a second here and maybe talk to the pediatrician and see what he has to say about it? So he comes in. This is the first time he's met Arlo, and he comes in and goes through the paperwork stuff with us, checks Arlo out, does the whole look once over and make sure everything's good, and he goes, and he goes, so how are you guys doing? How's everything going? I said, I'm fine, but she's a wreck. And he's like, well, what's going on? And I was like, well, and she's like crying still, and I'm like, well, she's concerned about his weight because he's barely over his birth weight. And he goes back and looks at the trends, and he's like he's still gaining weight. He's
getting taller.
And he's getting taller. His head is getting bigger. So if his head wasn't getting bigger, he wouldn't be getting the nutrients he needs.
If he wasn't getting taller.
And if he wasn't getting taller, he wouldn't be getting the nutrients he needs. So essentially, he was just saying you have a lean baby. I mean, and that's how Rhett was.
Like he went from basically like 86 percentile to like 38 percentile. Like it was a significant drop, but it has worked its way back up since like a week post birth. Like he got back up almost a full pound from a week post birth to 1 month.
Yeah.
From like the 8.8 up to 9.6 basically.
Well, and the doctor's like, if in a month and a half we're still having this discussion, then maybe we can think about adding something to his diet. But he's like, honestly, he's right where he needs to be.
Yeah.
As far as that's concerned. He's still within the 50th percentile, 60th or something. I don't know.
Not for weight, for height though. Head he is. He's like 90th for both of those. It's just his weight is
40 or something.
38, yeah.
So, but she just had this complete meltdown. And it's not uncommon with her recently, but I think it's interesting that she does it, and then she automatically goes to like what's going on in her head, not actually what the doctor recommends first, and then has the meltdown. She has the meltdown before we talk to the doctor, and I'm like, she just thinks that she's doing everything wrong.
Well, yeah, like I worry, like, is my breast milk not fat enough? Am I not eating the right nutrients?
Have you seen your other big-headed baby?
I know. Well, that's also the concern. So, like,
you'll feed him once. Like, you'll do one breastfeed in the morning with Rhett at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. and he won't eat all fucking day. I can't get him to eat.
It's because the dude sucks down like 17 ounces, I feel like.
Yeah, and it's fatty and it's nutritious and he's full and he's...
But that's what's crazy. So both Rhett and Enzo, from birth to 1 month, gained like 2.5 pounds each.
Yeah, but they were under 9 pounds. What did he say? Yeah. With the bigger babies, Arlo was a big baby. I mean, Rhett was 8'10", 8'11", something like that.
8'2".
And Arlo is 9'3". I mean, he's a big baby. And he said that he's like, with the big babies, their weight kind of catches up with them. It kind of evens out, and then
that was like what made it, because I've never had a lean 1 month old,
Right.
So that was also where I was like, okay, my breast milk must not be fatty enough. It's not getting enough nutrients, or his latch is shit, or like his digestive issues are bigger than we thought, and he's having like a malabsorption, and he's not getting the nutrients he needs.
Maybe he's got a tapeworm.
You know, full anxiety.
Yeah, so that was another fun trip to the doctor with you. I feel like every time you go somewhere, like it's the chiropractor's like, yeah, almonds, and then you start crying. And I'm like, oh my God. Cut out almonds. That's probably what's giving him gas, and you're eating almonds by the fucking gallon. I mean, you bought out Safeway.
I know.
So
I'm still bummed about the almonds still.
I know.
Because
it's pretty much everything. It's in everything.
It's not almond, it's egg. It's not egg, it's dairy. Sorry. But it's hard for me to figure out snacks. As a breastfeeding mom, I need fucking snacks throughout the day.
You don't like peanuts?
They're okay.
Just not almonds.
Not the same as
You like
almonds.
pistachios?
Yeah, I've been fucking inhaling pistachios.
What about walnuts?
Are you just gonna name every nut? Macadamia.
Just trying to give you,
Chestnuts.
think outside the box.
Brazil nuts.
So, anyway, that's kind of where we're. What else? We had something else happen. I'm trying to remember.
My God, it's been everything this
I know this whole week's I kind of just want to. I'm glad we have Monday tomorrow. It's a redo. I get to start over, try again.
Yeah.
We'll hope that this week is better than last.
Oh yeah, you had your heart doctor appointment.
I had my heart doctor, which had to get an EKG and a
echocardiogram.
See, she just, when she's upset, she cries. When I'm upset, my heart fucking does weird shit.
You come home from the echo. I didn't go with you because I know they're not going to give you the results in anyway.
Right.
You come home from the echo and you're like, I think something's wrong. What? Why? What makes you? Well, the tech was like, why are you here? And was giving me a weird look.
Yeah, it was weird.
So
There's something wrong.
you interpreted that.
What if there is something wrong? What if they saw something and they're like, oh yeah, we can't disclose the information. Your doctor has to, but
I think they're more like, why are you here? You're 35.
Yeah, well,
You're not 90.
Yeah, well, people can have heart problems at younger ages. So all in all,
It was a lot.
it was definitely a lot.
It was an exhausting week.
But we did get taxes done. My taxes done at least, so that was nice.
Yeah. I can't believe you got
refund.
Yeah, you got your refund already. That's
crazy.
crazy.
It only took I think 10 days maybe. But
it's super fast.
Yeah. So all in all, we've just kind of been.
Yeah, I challenged myself to share behind the scenes of our life a little bit more and day to day on some social media stuff. And
why do you think you did that?
I think I just really wanted to part of what my goal is to better broadcast this podcast and stuff like that. But I want to get into the habit more of just sharing a little bit more of my day to day and behind the scenes. That way, if I do talk about the podcast or about my favorite shampoo or stuff like that, it's not just super left field that I threw a story out there or anything like that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm trying just to share a little bit more.
You've been feeling better and you've been able to leave the house. We did a date night yesterday with the baby.
Yeah.
That was nice.
That was really nice.
We were laughing at each other because at our age, and with having kids, your date nights are as simple as Home Depot and Chili's and a pickup order from Target.
Okay.
And then you're home in bed by 8:30.
We're leaving the babysitter of the other one.
Yeah, exactly.
And your date night includes your newborn.
Yep. That's crazy. It's things just changed so much from what we used to do when we were single, or not single, but when we were no kids.
Yeah, or just Enzo when he was a little bit older.
Or he was at his dad's,
yeah.
Or whatever the case may be. We used to do a bunch of different stuff, but now we have to improvise.
Yeah.
We've been working on the house a little bit, trying to get
it was fun today. I mean, I thought it was...
It was?
It probably wasn't fun for you, but I like the rearranging of the furniture in the playroom and stuff, and I think it looks...
Making it more fluid.
It looks a lot better. Would you agree?
Yeah, it turned out nice. I think it feels better, and it's not as like crowded and like
shoved into a side.
Yes.
I felt like it looked like shoved like out of place almost.
Yeah, I agree.
So we have this like weird playroom that's like down like the hallway with the kids' bedrooms, but the dimensions of it are strange because it kind of just is like part of the hallway. Like the hallway becomes like big enough to be like a room, and then it gets just skinny hallway again. But it's very just awkward. Like it's long, the length of the hallway versus like wide, I guess. It's not very wide, like the width of it. It's just kind of long. And so it makes it for a weird space. And we had our couch and like, TV and stuff like that turned one way in there. And we finally decided to like put the TV on like the hallway wall, like the opposite wall.
Yeah, but that takes adding an outlet.
Yeah. That's not like a small task.
And then hanging the TV on the wall.
Adding the outlet was a big part because there's a low outlet, but we wanted to like wall mount the TV because we have a toddler and we'll have another toddler in 2 years.
Cords hanging down.
So we talked about it, and you are extremely talented with all things construction, home, vehicle, like everything. You're just talented with all of it. And you were able to basically tap into the existing outlet and then like put one, I don't know, 5 feet up off the ground.
Yeah, and now everything's hidden. The TV's flat against the wall, and
it looks a million times better.
Yeah, and it's almost like it was meant to be there.
Yeah, right? Nobody's ever, like, they're never going to know the difference one day. Mm-mm. And Enzo got a new, so we had this coffee table in the playroom. God love Rhett. We pull up the, like, because we have, like, a camera to see him in there if he, like, wanders in there while we're out, in the kitchen or whatnot. We pull up the camera, and he is standing on top of the coffee table, leaning over the edge of it, like, looking as if he's going to try to fucking, like, head dive.
And our house is all tile.
It's all tile. And, like, what toddlers don't realize and don't understand about their body awareness is how big their freaking heads are and how top-heavy they are. Like, how quickly they'll throw them off balance. So you and I both were like, yeah, no. That's a hard pass.
Yeah, so I took that table out of there.
Yeah, so now Enzo has a coffee table to be able to use, which he used to use all the time before Rhett kind of took over the playroom.
Yeah.
Where he'd like set up Pokemon cards or do a puzzle. So I think it's good we were able to like find a nice spot in Enzo's room for it.
Yeah,
because,
now he's got his own little space there. He's got a coffee table.
Without Rhett destroying it.
Yeah, our house is like... It's just, I feel like I'm in like a...
Prison ward?
Yeah.
25 baby gates to go through?
I have to like radio you to let me into cell block B and
right.
or like the baby room and shit.
Yeah.
Hey, we have so many gates. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Keep buying gates. I have extras in the laundry room just in case I need them.
Sometimes we do, though.
I know. I just throw them up in a doorway or whatever the case may be. I'm like randomly. Perks of working from home, and the thing is like I normally put one in my office door because I want to see Rhett. You know?
You want to
that's
have
the
your door
whole
open.
Whole thing. One of the biggest things about working from home that is so awesome is that I get to see Rhett all day. I remember my parents; they had to work. Out in the office or the construction sites or whatever, my dad, whatever they were doing. And they were never home. We never saw them. And I'm glad that I get to see my sons grow up. It's fantastic. So if I got to put up a baby gate in my doorway, then so be it. But yeah, at least we got the TV up and everything's organized and looks good. And I just got some hole patching to do and
throw a picture over it for now.
Yeah, well, it won't take me long to patch it.
I know. We had a nice surprise for our date night last night. Our babysitter for our date night said that she just wanted you to come and do some work at her house.
Yeah.
Instead of
paying her.
Yeah,
which was great. So I went over there today with Rhett, and she watched Rhett again. And watched the kids, and she had the football game on, and she was yelling at her TV because she's a diehard San Francisco fan. But I went in and took care of the stuff she needed me to take care of, and she was happy, and we were happy, and it all worked out.
That was a nice
surprise. You got some time alone.
Yeah, baby slept on me the whole time.
Yeah, but it's still time alone.
Yeah. Oh, big burp.
But we got babies and stuff now, so. But yeah, our date night was great, and we got to go do some stuff and hang out, and all in all, it was really cool.
We figured out a new thing today as a couple that we want to start doing.
Yeah.
Do you remember safety stops?
Oh yeah, I got yelled at this morning.
You didn't get yelled at this morning.
If you're gonna
say you got yelled at this morning, then I would say I got yelled at the other morning.
Yeah, I get up early because Rhett gets up early. I mean, 5 o'clock, 5:15. That's his usual. That's when he gets up, so I have to get up. But when I get up, I don't like to just sit around. Like, I'm really weird. I like to get moving, and so it's hard for me to sit around the house. So I'll take him and I'll run up to Starbucks or get him a hash brown, or we go for a quick drive or whatever the case may be, just kind of to start the day and get moving. But in our new vehicle, the vehicle's obviously a lot smaller than our old one, and we have a rotating car seat for Rhett. It's like a 360 or 180 or something. It does like a 180.
Yeah.
It can go from forward facing to...
technically it does go 360 actually, yeah.
Forward facing to
rear facing. To like side way.
Technically, he's not large enough to forward face.
He is. I
mean, he's large enough, but it's not, safe enough. It's not safe. So this morning, I had him forward facing because in this new car, it makes it a lot easier. Well,
we talked about it yesterday.
We did talk about it yesterday, but I don't think we ever really came up with like a hard...
You told me you put him forward facing yesterday. You're like, yeah, he like really enjoyed it. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's not good. Yeah. Like, it's super not safe yet. He's still pretty little as he like gets much older, but like extended rear facing, each parent their own. But in my opinion, extended rear facing is a much better, much safer option according to the research that I have done. And we kind of like briefly had the conversation yesterday, but we never fully said like, hey, let's make sure we're on the same page and like do this going forward, because if we continue to do forward facing and then I get in and put in rear facing, he's going to lose his fucking mind, because every kid likes to be forward facing. They can see stuff. It's exciting.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, so I got him home and I get him out of the car seat and I get inside and I get a very direct, what I was taking as a attacking text message from her at 7:12 a.m.
I basically I sent a screenshot of like stats about rear facing safety versus forward facing, and I said, hey, when you get a chance later, can we discuss and get on the same page about what we want to do?
Right. There was no like, hey, good morning, happy Sunday, how are you?
I'm not that person. I crack up every time.
Nothing like that.
If you
straight out the gate.
If you do get offended, it's normally if I like just kind of state something that you don't necessarily like, and you realize. I think it's more when you realize like, hey, maybe there's some validity to what Bridget's saying. It's not an attack on you, but like there's some validity in it, and that's normally when you get really like offended. And you always come back and are like, how about next time be like, good morning, love, how are you?
That's not what I said.
Later, can we do? And I'm like,
no, I said at least say, hey.
I'm not that person.
I'm like, at least you can't say good morning. You say good morning every morning via text, and then you tell me to come in there because the baby needs something or you need something, and every morning you say good morning, or you say love her, or whatever the fucking case may be. And today you just went off about stats, about forward facing. And I'm like, okay, so she's watching the fucking camera in the garage while I'm pulling him out. So she saw me do this. And she's just nagging me already at 7:12 a.m. on a Sunday morning. So needless to say, I didn't take it very well.
No.
And then we kind of stopped talking for a few hours, and I just went and did my own thing and left you to your own devices.
So, what thing did you tell me very abruptly without any, hey, good morning, the other day?
Oh, yeah, you were sleep. So we sleep with the baby. The baby sleeps in our bedroom with us.
Yeah.
And you have always told me that it's actually really safe because the baby, or mom naturally cocoons the baby and protects the baby at night. Well, I wake up at 5 a.m. one morning, and we sleep with like a red light on, so the baby, because the baby doesn't like to be in pitch black. So I woke up one morning and I roll over, and the baby is facing me, and your back is to the baby.
We're back to back.
And you're back to back. And I'm like, what the fuck? So when you woke up, I was like, don't ever sleep like that with the baby ever again.
And that's all you said, and you walked out of the room.
I was pissed.
And I was like...
Because that's not a cocoon.
But
on top of that, you have a giant comforter, and because I snore and breathe hard and like to tap you in the face in the middle of the night, you take the comforter and you build a wall. Like in Game of Thrones, the big ice wall, you build this wall
of comforter.
Yep. And I'm like, all it would take is that baby to roll over into that comforter and not be able to breathe.
So, what I love about this is that I internally went through I'm offended. Who the fuck does he think he is? He can be the one to sleep with the baby. But I internally went through it. I didn't be like, snap, snap, snap. You didn't say, good morning, lover. Maybe don't sleep like that. Would you want me to say to you when I bring up something?
I guess would have been better off if I had just not answered your text at all. And not said a word.
So I found it hilarious because I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, you can express your concern with a safety matter.
Hey, I mentioned in our text message conversation that both of our feelings were valid.
So we decided to come up with a solution.
Yeah, something about stoplights or something.
Safety stops.
So now, moving forward, anytime either one of us is uncomfortable about the way the other one is parenting.
From the safety of our child's standpoint.
Yes, from the safety of our child's standpoint.
Not like, I'm mad you put him in that outfit today. No. But like, safety of the child's standpoint.
We're going to use the phrase
Safety stop.
And then once that the other adult that receives that information sees that, they can inquire when they need to inquire, I guess.
Basically, the goal is that with saying safety stop, it'll trigger for the other parent to realize, like, hey, I'm about to get a very direct message about, Creed's very upset about the fact that I put my back to the baby when I was sleeping. And I need to try not to take it personal because this is about my kid's safety and not about a personal attack on me.
Yeah. Whoever said fucking relationships were easy is fucking full of shit. Because I honestly feel like every day is just like, what's the next thing that's going to piss her off? Or what's the next thing that's going to piss him off? I just got to try to avoid that and we're good.
Well, that's why we're like communicating about it. So like as silly as it is, like the safety stop thing, like the goal is, you saying that before telling me about how I was sleeping with the baby, which you are 100% right. Like,
I'm like, all you gotta do is wake me up, and I'll try it.
Like, I didn't. As soon as you did it, like I was offended for a minute or two, and like, wow, that was really fucking rude. But I was like, why am I so mad about this? And I was like, I'm mad because I got called out in something that I did that wasn't that safe. And I need to think about the fact that this is about the safety of the kid and not about me being offended and my personal feelings about this. Like, kid safety is the number one goal.
Yep.
So, hopefully we'll remember the term safety stop. We probably won't.
We have all these we have all these like
phrases
that we're supposed to say. We're supposed to have a safe word, and I can't even, for the life of me, I can't remember what
Pineapple.
No, it was something, but I can't remember what the word was. So I'm like, well, hopefully I don't ever have to use it.
Yeah.
Because I'm just gonna yell out a random word to you,
safe word,
and you're gonna be like,
it's our safe word. I don't know what it is, but I'm saying it.
So
The safe word is safe word.
it's been a pretty grueling week. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we've had a lot happen. We navigated it, though. Here we are, Sunday evening.
I still can't believe Arlo is 1 month old already.
I know, he's growing like a weed.
It's crazy.
6 feet tall, and...
Oh, I remember what else happened this week. So you were having like a super stressful day at work.
Which is every day, it seems like.
And you came into the bedroom where I was with Arlo. And I was like, why don't you like just hold him for a minute? You're like, no, I'm like vibrating negative energy right now. I don't want to pass that on to him. Like, I'm just so tense and so stressed. Like, no. And I was like, great. Just hold your baby for a minute. And you pick him up. And what does he fucking do?
He smiles.
He smiles.
He hasn't smiled before.
He's never smiled before. Like, he smiled in his sleep. That doesn't count. First time he smiled awake.
Was that me?
Was that you? When you just said, like, you were having, like, a shit fucking day.
And it actually turned my whole mood around.
Right? And I was like, aw. Like, A, I'm bummed I missed it. But B, I'm so glad that, like, if there's nothing else that could have been a perfect, more, like, cherry on top to, like, make your day turn around in an instant.
Yeah.
To have your newborn smile at you when you were so stressed.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Hi.
Doesn't always work, but yeah.
It was pretty cool. In that moment, it was like exactly what was needed, which was cool. Yeah. Relationships are they're a work in progress all the time.
Yeah. You've got a wedding you're going to be going to here soon, or after a while. Your cousin's wedding.
In like a year. Yeah.
You're going to try and travel with the baby.
He's gonna be like 10 months old.
Yeah, good luck.
He's
not breastfeeding. I guess you could leave him here.
Yeah, he'll probably still be breast. He might be doing bottles by 10 months, but
we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, happy Sunday, and now that we know that the Eagles in Kansas City are in the Super Bowl, yay! Go Eagles!
Excited to see what happens.
Yep. You guys have a good week, and we'll see you next weekend.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks everybody for listening. You can check us out at
FreezerMilk.com
or Instagram.
Freezer Milk Podcast.
Until next week, guys. Thanks.
Don't forget, parenting is a trip. We are all here on the journey with you together. Thanks so much for listening.